let me go into some common mistakes here. So what are the common mistakes that we see? Not training the patient on the first regular visit, what the steps of the routine visit will be. Day 5, train the patient. By the way, if you forgot on day 5, train them on day 6. And you'll find out real quick. You'll remember real quick you forgot them because it's not orderly. Now it's just random and they're random and you're random. So if you need, anytime you need to, stop and train the patient. But the best time, obviously, to train anything is in the beginning, day 5. Going for like and not respect, that's chiropractors that have low conviction. Chiropractors that have low conviction, that are not basing the care on the biomarkers, 3 phases healing. They don't know the steps to take that the patient subconsciously wants, like what's my problem? Can you help? How long does it take to feel better? What's it cost? That's the chiropractor that has low conviction. And that's a mess. Usually when I have a doctor going for like, that's you got bad news. You got bad patient retention. You got huge dropout. You've got a bad practice. That takes a little bit to turn around. And we always start with conviction. We start with conviction and the biomarkers and then the order. And then just try to get the doctor to realize they're not coming in there to be your friend. They're coming in there for a clinical experience and you be friendly. And that's a huge difference. Follow up on the topic that was not clinically related. I'd say that's probably one of the top reasons why chiropractors get stuck in a room and the adjustment takes so long. The patient says something, and then just because the patient says something, the doctor has no filter. He's not evaluating if it's a major, minor, or if it's BS. And so he's treating everything like it's a major. And next thing you know, it's just talking, and there's no need. And the worst kind is when the patient is talking about a totally different topic, and the doctor follows them, whether it's the weather, the ball game, a community event, whatever. And then next thing you know, the doctor's responding to it, then they respond, the doctor. Now you have a conversation about the community event, not the clinical experience. They're paying for the clinical experience, not talking about the community event. And that's usually just, again, bad discipline, bad active listening skills, bad habits is what that is. All right, talking about non-clinical topics while in the clinical experience. I've seen that. Doctors adjusting them. Man, that's terrible. That's the single most thing you can do to devalue the experience. Talk about something else while you're actually doing it. Not letting them know the clinical experience has started or stopped. Let them know. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, that'll do it for today. Those are just phrases you should just have. Let them know it's over. Let them know you're starting, and that stops them from just to keep talking. All right, let's go ahead and check you. Let's go ahead and get started. See, those are action phrases. Not finishing the soap notes before they leave the clinical experience. I want them to stay because I want them to hear what I'm going to say in the documentation. That's part of the clinical experience. That's the reason I want them to stay. The other reason that I want them to stay is it makes the doctor increases efficiency fast. When that person's standing there, makes them get to it faster, makes them way more efficient quicker. Not reminding them of at least one clinical factor during the experience. That is the crappiest thing you can do. Is they come in for a regular chiropractic visit and they never hear one biomarker. They don't hear a biomarker. They don't hear anything about the 3 phases of healing. That's just one crappy experience is what that is. That is not what they're paying for. Adjust after the adjustment. And this is a huge one. After the adjustment, asking them how they feel. Boy, that's one of the worst things you can do. You just made all the care symptom focused. If you did any patient education with the 3 phases of healing or biomarker, you just screwed it. You cannot ask them how they feel after the adjustment. Remember, this is not a day-to-day experience. After the adjustment, asking them how to feel. Remember, only 1/3 of the patient feel better on the first adjustment. So you're setting yourself up for a 2/3 failure just by asking that question. Instead, you should be telling them how the adjustment went. That moved good. All right, done. That didn't move as well as it should with each, and then give them hope. With each treatment, that'll get better and better. You tell them how the adjustment went. You do not ask them how they feel after the adjustment. It's a process. They're going to go through a series of adjustments. Those are SOAP notes. And those trends can vary wildly. We're looking for a trend, and that's called one re-exam to the next. That's when we're looking for more stability. We don't care necessarily about an individual trend. If they're significantly more in pain or significantly less in pain, we want to pay attention to the trend of and all the biomarkers from one re-exam to the next. That's the accurate perception of it.